What's up, Wonders of London fans? It's me, Vincent. Hope you're all doing well and having a good morning, afternoon, evening, etc. wherever you are. We are by Monument Station. Let's say hello to Athena and Medusa. So can you see that sculpture over there? That is Athena, and embossed on her shield is the head of Medusa. Quite an interesting tale. Hello Andrea W, and hello Debbie Vaughan, hello Petra B. Three of our wonderful Guardians. So Guardians, apologies. We were supposed to go live for the Warner Brothers 100 Years Candlelight concert, but unfortunately we weren't allowed any type of photography or videography during the concert except for the last little bit. So hopefully you got to catch a little bit of the last little bit. I also made a video of that last little bit, so apologies. It was supposed to be Guardians Day today, and our plan was to have an entire hour of the last 100 years of Warner Brothers music, but of course due to copyright issues and other things, we could not go live. And I found the perfect spot with signal as well, and a wonderful view. But it was Southwark Cathedral, Debbie. I couldn't say anything inside, but we were in Southwark Cathedral. So apologies, couldn't do any recording at all, except for the last song, which of course was Friends. I think some of you like Luca's version of the Friends song. But we will be doing a proper Guardians Day tomorrow. So Guardians, apologies once again, but we will be doing a proper Guardians Day tomorrow. Today we're going to do a little live walking over two bridges as the sun sets. So we're going to walk over London Bridge twice, and then we're going to finish by walking over Tower Bridge. Petra, the concert was amazing. I loved the Lord of the Rings. It's so touching. I think everyone loved Lord of the Rings, but 1989 Batman was very good. I think they weren't supposed to do Superman, one of the new Supermans, and they weren't supposed to, because it wasn't on the list, but they weren't supposed to do Batman v Superman. But they did one of the Supermans and new Supermans with Henry Cavill, and Batman v Superman, and then they led on to Wonder Woman. But I didn't like the new Hans Zimmer Batman v Superman and Superman, but the 1989 Michael Keaton Batman was fantastic. You chose the right concert, yeah? So the 89, thank you so much once again for sponsoring as well. But the 89 Batman, Michael Keaton, who's making a comeback, I believe, in one of the new movies, although it's a bit controversial, that particular movie. But yeah, I love Michael Keaton's Batman. With, of course, what's his face directing? Tim Burton in there. Hello, Yashika Ram the Rain, how's it going? So apologies, couldn't record or go live except for the Friends theme song. They said you could record the Friends theme song, so that was quite nice. Couldn't take photos as well. Hello Joyce, Jasmat Sijur, hope you're doing well. Piotr Hop, hello, how are you Piotr? Joining us from Poland. Petra B, thank you for the stars, you're a legend. So we're just going to walk up this bit of London Bridge, then we're going to cross over and walk up the other side of London Bridge. So on this side we're going to see the sun setting, and we're going to get views of St Paul's Cathedral and Cannon Street Station. Then we're going to cross over to see views of Tower Bridge. Then we're going to walk on this side of the river to get to Tower Bridge and walk over. Petra, thank you for the stars once again. Hello Nafisa, how are you? Hope you're doing well. Thank you for the stars, Nafisa, as well. Piotr, I hope you're very well so far. Good to hear. Love the church bells. We'll be coming back to walk past St Magnus. They're coming from St Magnus the Martyr, but we don't want to miss out the sun as it sets. So it's been quite a long peal they've been having. I could hear it during the concert at some bits, and it was quite interesting listening to the concert with the trains going over, especially when they were in Gotham. There's a wonderful view of the Shard and number 1 London Bridge building, which you can see reflecting the sunset. Look at the sky over there as we walk this way. Train going over Cannon Street Railway Bridge. Whitehall back open. Deb Anderson, when was it closed? Not sure that Whitehall had been closed. Last time I was at Whitehall was, I think, Sunday. And on Sunday it was open, but I haven't been there since Sunday. So I'm not sure when they closed it, but I imagine it would be reopened already. Usually they open that area quite quickly. Hello Rose Fraser. A lovely evening in London certainly is. Joining us from New York, Rose. Hope you're doing well. Also beautiful weather. We've been having quite wonderful weather over the last week and a half or so, and it should be continuing into the weekend. So we're looking for a lovely. We're looking forward to lovely weather. Yes, the Eye of Sauron. Heard PC. We said that on the clock app the other day. Kathy Brief, hello, and Kathy says hello to London. Lovers. Oh, at 4:20 p.m. today, a car drove in. Oh wow. Yeah, I haven't looked at the news today. Well, I looked at the metro, but that's like yesterday's news, so I didn't see that. But look at that gorgeous sunset. Hoping to get some lovely colours when we get to Tower Bridge. But tomorrow I hopefully have something interesting planned for you here for the Guardians and for the clock up. I'm hoping to go somewhere I've never been before. So there are some brave people rowing in the Thames. Would you be able to do that? Sue Elliott Palmer, you'll be in London next Friday for a long weekend. Hope you enjoy it, Sue Elliott Palmer. Alexis Calderon Reyna, you're coming to London in August. Wonderful. Hope you get to enjoy it. But no one was hurt. That's good to hear. Debbie Vaughan, no one was hurt. There's a beautiful sunset. Let's get St. Paul's in the... Oh no, St. Paul's is hiding behind the dome. Need to move a bit further up over here to get St. Paul's in view for this wonderful sunset. There you got the brave rowers. You would never catch me doing that. Unless zombies, of course. What a beautiful scene. Heard, or Sauron. Hello, Denita Ellis. Great day here, and you're joining us from North Carolina, USA. Michael Keaton is making Beetlejuice 2. Yeah, he's doing a lot of his old movies. Another great movie is by Michael Keaton is Founder. So have any of you seen Founder? Founder is, of course, the story about the founding of McDonald's. Michael Keaton's such a great actor. But not only is Founder the founding of McDonald's, you've got another wonderful recent Michael Keaton movie, which of course is Birdman. And Birdman, if you love your superhero movies, I recommend Birdman. It's kind of Debbie Vaughan, thank you for the stars. Birdman is kind of a superhero satire. So if you feel a bit of Marvel fatigue, if you're feeling a bit of DC fatigue with all these superhero movies, I'm not at that point yet. I do love the superhero movies, but if you are feeling a bit of the fatigue from them, do check out Birdman. It's quite interesting. That's Michael Keaton as well. But looking forward to Beetlejuice 2 as well. Susan Bassett, 5 a.m. In Australia. You just heard that on the news. Yeah, I haven't looked at the news today, so I'll have to look at that later. Kayaking is fun. You should try it. Well, yeah, I want to try it in a shallow, maybe on the canal. I think the only place I might do it is on the canal, because I can't swim, but the canal is so shallow I can stand if I fall inside. At least I hope I can stand if I fall inside. But not in the Thames, no. Especially if you've been seeing the news and what our water companies have been doing. So allegedly, our water companies have been dumping our waste into the mighty, all of our amazing rivers, including but not limited to the Thames. So our water companies in Britain, particularly England and London, are in a lot of trouble, and the public are not very happy with our water companies. So that's one of the reasons you'll never catch me dipping a toe in the Thames unless it is urgent. Starshine, hello. Starshine, sorry, because you heard PC over here, but hello, Starshine. Oh, you're Guardian as well, Starshine. Fantastic. Thank you for joining us here on the Book of Faces, as I call it. Jane Caroline Wrighton, good evening to you. Kathleen Elizabeth Cooper, evening London. Hoping to be in the UK, staying for a week or two with your brother. You're planning to travel up for a round trip. Wonderful. But on one of the buses. Can't walk far anymore. You'll be staying St. Paul's. Brilliant. Hope you enjoy your visit, and of course, you got a lot of wonderful buses that can take you around and stuff, so it is very cool. You went to see the new Evil Dead. Is it any good, Nafisa? Because I've been thinking about it. Is it any good, the new Evil Dead? Kathy Brief, thank you for the stars. You're a legend. So we'll continue to the other side of the London Bridge now. The sun's pretty much almost disappeared. I'm hoping to make it to Tower Bridge when we get a wonderful sky, so we can cross over Tower Bridge. We won't have the sun, but we'll have the light reflected off the skyline and the silhouette as we proceed into twilight. So I'm hoping for really good purple or pinkish skies. It's looking a bit orange at the moment, the sky, so I don't know if we're going to get purple and pink, but one hopes, so that's the plan. So we're going to cross back over Tower Bridge with the other view, London Bridge, sorry, with the other view where we can see Tower Bridge. Any fans of Tower Bridge, remember you can like the live and share the video, and be sure to check out our video, the live, sorry, you can share the live, and be sure to check out our videos and share them if you enjoy them. TARDIS Parrot, fantastic skies this evening. Fantastic skies pretty much all week so far, and it should be continuing on into the weekend. So looking for good weather. You think it was good? Nafisa, do you like the originals? Did you watch Ash versus the Evil Dead? I think it's on Netflix, Ash versus the Evil Dead. Love that little show. Huge fan of the Tower of London. So we're also going to check out at the tower before we cross over Tower Bridge. We're going to see what the situation is with Super Bloom. So we're hoping to be getting a few more blooms from last time we were there. You know London very well, live in Southfields for over 10 years. Now you're in Spain, fantastic. Hope you are enjoying Spain. Do you miss London at all? We got 388 bus going past to Stratford, and we got 141 to Palmer's Green. There's a 381 to Peckham going past over there, and we're just waiting for the green man so we can cross over. When you worked in this area, these kinds of evenings were the best, definitely. A lovely Jane, you're welcome. So yeah, we'll be checking out the tower just from the outside, of course. But first we got to get the green man here so we can cross over. It's always a tricky crossing here at London Bridge. So they've actually put up the sign for Summer by the River. So Summer by the River is coming very, very soon, guys. Of course, summer is on the way. We've got the 21 to Holloway, Nag's Head coming past over here. Aladdin Ware from Canary Wharf, all the way along here. So the other day, I'm gonna probably do this on the Clock app as a live. But the other day I walked, I had a private tour in Greenwich, and I walked from Greenwich to London Bridge. Yeah, I walked from Greenwich to London Bridge the other day. I was checking the signal to see. So the bit between Greenwich and Deptford was nice. So I want to do that in a separate live probably. But between Deptford, going through Lewisham, and then Deptford and Southwark. Not Southwark exactly, but what's it called? Canada Water, which is in Southwark. The signal was quite bad. So I'm thinking of doing a Canada Water to London Bridge walk. And then for Facebook, I want to do a Deptford to Greenwich walk. There's two lovely walks that you can do. And then, of course, I'm going to try again, signal-wise, to do the same walk, but on the other side, going past Canary Wharf. So I was on the de facto south side of the river, but I want to try and do the same walk, just on the other side, from around Island Gardens, as far along the river as possible, through Canary Wharf, all the way to London Bridge over here. So that's a plan. You've been to the Tower Bridge experience? Oh, yeah, so I think someone asked, Jane, you asked, you've been to the London Bridge? Yeah, we did a video last year, I think, of the Tower Bridge experience. It's amazing, I do recommend it. They do have lifts as well. I recommend the stairs though. Not too taxing, the stairs at the Tower Bridge, because you have many landings where you can stop, and there's lots of information as you go up the landings. So you can stop, relax and read. So I do recommend the Tower Bridge experience. There's the London Bridge experience. Is that the horror house? So you got the Tower Bridge experience, which is on Tower Bridge, but you also have alternatively a horror house, which is the London Bridge experience. I did it over 10 years ago, so I don't know if it's, I don't even remember. I just remember laughing a lot when I did it over 10 years ago, so I haven't done the London Bridge experience. So yeah, Jane Caroline Wrighton, I haven't done it in over 10 years, I think, and I don't recall if it was great. I remember laughing a lot. I remember not being scared, but those kinds of things usually make me laugh as opposed to scare me, because I love a horror movie. The horror house, yeah, a lot of people say it's good, so the London Bridge experience, which is under the bridge just down there, but they've made a lot of changes. So they've changed the entrance to the London Bridge experience, because it used to be opposite London Bridge station, but they've completely changed it now. And then they've got the beer keller, and then they've got an a dessert joint, and then they've got the London Bridge experience. So yeah, I don't know if they've changed a lot of the show itself, but they have changed quite a bit of the whole layout. So I'm not even sure where the entrance is, because where the entrance used to be was the is now the beer keller, the German sort of beer experience. There's St. Paul's once again. Kathy J. Damask. So very gorgeous, thank you, you're welcome. So we are going to walk to Tower Bridge. We've got a small naval ship, I think, over there. Hopefully we'll see the name as we go past. So we're going to make our way to that viewing platform over there, where I think people are making TikToks. So we might jump in some people's clock app thingies. You have tickets for it. I mean, a lot of people say it's a good experience, so hopefully you will enjoy it, but I personally haven't been there in about 10 years, give or take, and I just remember laughing, so don't recall if it was any good. The one I haven't done, because they changed actually, so I did do the one that used to be by the London Eye around the same time, 5-10 years ago, but that's completely changed now. So I haven't done the new experience at the London Eye, the horror house there, so I don't know much about them. And then I think the last one I did was at Thorpe Park, which just really made me laugh. They had these two little sisters, well, they were supposed to be little sisters, like from the Shining, and everyone was so terrified because they appeared out of nowhere, and everyone was so terrified. I just burst out laughing. So I'm perhaps not the best person to ask about horror houses. Els Anderson, thank you so much for the stars. You're a legend. Nancy Hintowski, absolutely beautiful. You do love a good sunset. So look at that. You can see in these clouds, we've got those oranges coming through, the colours that is. So we're hoping for a nice sky by the time we cross over Tower Bridge, which shouldn't be too long. That will scare you? Yes. It would scare me as well. Well, no, it didn't scare me. It would make me laugh. But yeah, the wee little sisters from what do you call it? Right, their movie, The Shining, The Shinning, as they say in The Simpsons. Svetlana Melentieva, hello in Moscow. Missing London so much. London misses you all, guys. Hopefully we'll get the bells of St. Magnus ringing again. Kathy J. Damask. London is top 3 places to visit on your bucket list. Where else do you want to visit, Kathy? Definitely London should be on everyone's bucket list. So we started the live over there. Now we're going to turn right by Monument Street to have a look at the monument. And then we're going to go up to that viewing platform. So there are a couple of ways to get to the viewing platform. I'm going to show you both of them by going up one and coming down the other. But this is the monument dedicated, well, commemorating the Great Fire of London 1666, which destroyed about 2/3 of the city. And was quite a terrible fire. Here we can see a bit more about it. It destroyed about 13,200 houses, 87 churches, and 52 livery company halls. So these are some of the buildings that were destroyed in the Great Fire of London. Of course, who was king during the Great Fire? It was none other than my favourite king in English history, Charles II. The fire started on the 2nd of September and raged on through to the 5th of September, right there. And of course, destroyed 2/3 of the city, as I mentioned earlier. So it is quite fascinating. Sir Christopher Wren advised on this particular monument, but he was not the principal architect. It was in fact Robert Hooke who was the principal architect, but he was in consultation with the great Sir Christopher Wren, who built St Magnus, which we're going to see in a few moments. So a lot of Christopher Wren's churches were sadly destroyed after he had rebuilt them. So originally a lot of churches were destroyed in the Great Fire. Then we had a second Great Fire, which was the Blitz. And as I'm always saying, fire has been no friend to London. For example, you can see on these sort of stone benches, London's burning, fetch the engines, fire, 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 pour on water, pour on water. And we've had many fires that have devastated London, but perhaps one of the greatest was the Great Fire of 1666, followed of course perhaps by the Blitz, which is also known as the second Great Fire of London. Yolanda Padilla, love your authenticity, you just bring you. Thank you so much, Yolanda. I love storytelling, and I've been working on my storytelling style for decades now, ever since I was a ween. Ooh, is this closed? I hope not. But we're going to see St Magnus the Martyr. Come on, bells, ring for us. Debbie, no lift at the monument, so you're glad, Vincent? Yeah, we did make videos from the top, yeah, but no lift, unfortunately. I was quite impressed by how they fit a lift in Tower Bridge, so I was wondering, could they do, but I don't think they could. I don't think they have enough space. But there's St Magnus the Martyr, where we heard the bells earlier. You must be in great shape. I wish, not so much. Jane, you went to the Shard a few weeks ago. Did you enjoy it? I hope you did. Hello, Barbara Gibbons in New Zealand. So I got some music. That's not ours. Kathy Brief, thank you for the stars. You're a legend. As I mentioned, some clock appers doing some dancing there. Look at those beautiful pinks coming through. So as you can see, we entered this viewing platform a few moments ago, and then we're going to exit it. But just to show you the view you get from here, you've got this wonderful view of London Bridge. Now, if you come around this time and a bit later, perhaps a bit earlier as well, you can get a traffic jam, actually a bit earlier, proper rush hour, you can get a traffic jam that's just London buses all across the London Bridge, and it makes for a really cool photo and a really cool time-lapse video as well. So I do recommend trying that if you have the opportunity. Debbie, thank you for the stars, you're a legend. Svetlana, so beautiful, amazing view, and it gets so much better. That area so confusing walking around it for the first time finding, yeah, the city. One of the most beautiful things about the city are all the interlocking sideways and alleys. I actually found a map that I did not get, so I was a good boy this time. I didn't buy this map, but it was a map of all of London's alleyways. But I did find another map that I did buy, so I wasn't as good as I should have been, but I did buy another map, which was the Great Trees of London map, an updated version of the Great Trees of London map. So I was able to get, might show it to the Guardians at some point, but I was able to get a Great Trees of London map finally. So if you know, I have been looking for this map for ages, but online it proved to be too expensive, so I couldn't actually get it. But I finally got one for I think it was $8.99 or $12.99. which is pretty reasonable because it's so hard to find. And where did I get it? If any of you are wondering, at the South Bank Centre. That is also where they had a map of London's alleys. But this is the other way you can come to this particular viewing platform. So just remember St Magnus the Martyr and Monument. Those are the two sort of entrances to this particular viewing platform, where you get amazing views of Tower Bridge, London Bridge and the Shard. We are going to continue this way. Hello Judy Goldthorpe, and hello to Kathy from Judy. Neat, you like maps, darling? Yeah, I've got a few maps now. I've got a London rich and poor map, poverty map they call it, but it shows you in the Victorian period where all the rich people lived and where all the poor people lived. Pretty much goes from lower class, working class to upper class, and the wealthy and affluent. So it's quite a fascinating map. So you've got west and east, and it's really interesting. Covers north and south, of course, as well. But it's really interesting. But the main divide between the rich and the poor in London is west and east. But it's quite interesting how it covers, how it shows you. Like when you look at the, can't remember what colour, say red is for poor and blue is for rich, for example. I'm not saying that because I can't remember the exact colour coding. But it's so interesting. You've got so much red, which is for poor, in the east. And then when you get west, you've got so much blue. So it's quite interesting. We're, of course, heading more east at the moment. So we got that little ship, that little warship there. It's got the letter O2. That's the inscription. Oh, that's what's written on the side. Can't see the name, however. Patricia Ben, hello in Philadelphia. How are you? And there's Tower Bridge. If you've ever been on our witches tour, you know this is where we stop to talk about quite a few things. The Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, Winston Churchill, World War II, and of course Gerald Gardner, the father of modern Wicca. And we also stopped to talk about the Nactexen, the Night Witches from World War II, which is quite fascinating. Misael, Michael, Philomena, you already missed the view. Hope you get to see it again. There's Tower Bridge. We're heading towards Tower Bridge. Let's have a look at the sky. Wonder what it's going to look like when we get to Tower Bridge. Love the little lamps. Now you must check out these lamps on this section. They all have wee little fishes right here, which is pretty interesting. Of course, the street name is Old Billingsgate Walk, and you used to have sort of fish market here, fishmongers, which is why you've got the fish veins. Now, then it was like a fisherman's hall, and now it's used as an event space. Red is for rich. Thank you, Anita Goldinia. I couldn't remember the colours, but yeah, that map is wonderful. You're definitely going to do another witch tour. It's going to be a bit different from the one you did. Always doing new research and finding out new things. Because the thing about research into the history of witchcraft is that a lot of it was suppressed because there was no distinction between scholarly research and, of course, researching to practice the craft. They were sort of intermingled, but there has been a lot more scholarly research coming out into the witch hunts and everything. So it's quite fascinating. So because so much more information is coming out. For example, for a period, they used to say that in England, only 500 people were executed for witchcraft. But if we look at what's his face, the Witchfinder General, the evil man, Matthew Hopkins, and his mate John Stern, equally evil man, they were responsible for the deaths of somewhere between 300 and 500 in a period of 2 years. And then look also at the idea that if you did a week's worth of witch hunting, you'd be paid 6 months' wages. So for 1 week, you get 6 months of your salary. I mean, of course, a lot of people are going to do that. Not to say it's good, it's a terrible thing to do. But that gives us an idea of how the numbers can be skewed. Because officially we would have 500 people in England being executed for witchcraft. And then consider this as well. We have in Scotland, under the rule of James I, somewhere between 1,500, very conservative figures of course, and 4,000, which are more realistic, in a very short period, in a smaller kingdom. We have all of that happening, of course, and it's quite fascinating when you try and put the numbers together. It is really interesting. So it's always evolving, the witches too. Such a sad history, the witch hunts here. Very sad history. Starshine. Nisha, hello, hope you're doing well. So we're going to be approaching the tower to have a look at the moat. One thing of note, if you do come to here, I sometimes point this out on the witches tour, are the reflections that you get on this spot. Do you guys like reflections? Hello. But of course, nothing beats the real deal. This is Sugar Key Wharf. Of course, we're heading to the area where all the sugar would be kept, and the tea, which of course was part of the East India trade. The tea and the West India trade was connected to the sugar and the slavery. So that's Sugar Key Wharf. Still can't see a name for that little ship. Just 02 or 02 could even be. That wee little ship astride the Belfast. Well, I say wee, it's bigger than my house. It's a big ship, but compared to the Belfast, it's like tiny. But compared to my house, it's massive. Hello, Coco Soriano. Hope you're doing well. There's the Tower Bridge as we slowly approach twilight, guys. Bill Cleary, hello. So let's check out what the situation is with Super Bloom. I'll be back here for the Witches tour on Saturday, actually. I think it's Witches, yeah. Witches, and then we got Amazing Women on Sunday. I said last week we had Amazing Women this Sunday, but I was wrong, because it was actually Royal Westminster. City of Sin and Royal Westminster. Did you see, and also the cannon post in the other side? Ooh. There are a few cannons posted around here. At the tower, of course. Oh, we got to go around the tower, which is nice. I'm going to show you one of my, I'm going to show you one of my favourite photo opportunities, because we should have the roses. The roses have been coming out, so I will show you one of my favourite photo opportunities in a few moments. Hello, Maria Louisa. Beautiful wonders of London, they certainly are. Remember, guys, please don't send big emojis or emoticons. They make it hard to read the comments. So we'll come up on here to see the progress. Ooh, is that the key ceremony in the tower? One thing you should check out is the key ceremony in the tower. I think Diane has been there, one of our supporters. Diane. So here we are. Not quite there yet. Not quite there. Navy ships here. Oh, did they to be christened? Cool. I didn't realise they docked to be christened. But yeah, we do have that naval ship. Navy. Diane, have you been to the keys ceremony of the keys? It's at 9:30 p.m. Oh, I just heard the bell, so I wasn't sure what the bell was for. But can you see those patches of orange and blue and purple just breaking through and red? Oh, so beautiful. I can't wait to hang out with the bees and hear that sound. Bzz, bzz, I love the bees. Of course, yeah, there we have the views of the city of London. And I'm going to show you one of my favourite photos of Tower Bridge, guys. Danielle Allaire, thank you for the stars, you're a legend. Hello, Zelinda Cuglia from Italy. Starts at 10. As you've been there, oh cool, Jane. I think they've got the like pre-thingy And then the ceremony itself starts at a certain time. But cool. 4:15 in the Philippines. 4:15 a.m. in the Philippines. Hello, Carolyn Southard from Kansas City. Here we are. Wonderful Muddy Mississippi Waters song. Kansas City. Lots of songs about Kansas, actually. Ooh, they also did Prince at the concert, Petra, which was really cool. Now this is what we want. Look at that, guys. I'm going to zoom in for you. Of course, it's so much better to view with the naked eye, but look at that. The wild English meadows are returning. Melania Melli. It is currently 14 degrees Celsius. Anyway, at some point it was 14 degrees Celsius. It ends at 10 p.m. Huh? Diane. But look at those colours. Beautiful. You have plants in your garden that attract bees. Yvonne. Fantastic. Yeah, I love the bees. We have to save the bees. They're so important for us. Beautiful Susan Bassett. Beautiful Michael on Sael. Melania. Wonderful. Here it is 22 degrees. Cool. Good to see the moat so green and flowers coming through more and more. I cannot wait till they open it up. Wonder if they're going to have the slide this year, because I think they put the slide a bit earlier last year. But they're probably waiting, so we're going to see. So gorgeous. In Milan, Melania, cool. So beautiful to look at all the greens with the colours. Debbie, thank you for the stars. You're a legend. Jane, your cousin got married in the chapel of St. Peter ad Vincula. Cool. And you watched the Keys at night. That's so cool. Lucky they got married there. So one of these sites to do anything, the tower. Of course, Westminster Abbey is there, and a few other sites around London. Hello, Joanna. And hello to Debbie from Johanna Malone Lopez. Good evening, Marinella Armignago. So there is the direction to Tower Hill, where most people were executed, as opposed to the Tower of London. You had to be important to be executed at the Tower of London. But there is a common misconception that a lot of people were executed at the Tower of London. This chap is my favourite king in English history. Charles II, first king to display the crown jewels at the Tower of London. Of course, after the English Civil War, where Charles II's dad, Charles I, was executed, the parliamentarians around it seized all of the crown jewels, and some of them were smelted down to sell separated from the jewels. And of course, after the restoration, there was a sort of commission to create new jewels, which technically belong to the royal family, but technically do not belong to the royal family. They belong to the people. It's one of those things where they say they belong to us, but if I'm going out on a night on the town, I can't rock up to the Tower of London and say, hey, you know, I want the Hope Diamond tonight, bring it back tomorrow. So is it really for us? As if it was for us, we should all be able to just rock up to the tower, sign a document and say, you know, fancy taking the Hope Diamond on the town tonight, etc. But there you have one of my favourite views of Tower Bridge. Johanna, you've read so many books about Henry VIII and his wife. So interesting, yeah? Very interesting. But check this out. You can centre the rose. I haven't got quite a good centred rose this year. But you can take this shot of the rose and Tower Bridge. Focus on the rose, so you got Tower Bridge blurred a bit. In a few moments I'll focus on Tower Bridge for you guys, and you can get different angles of this shot. Then now I'm going to focus. Do feel free to do screenshots as usual. Focus on Tower Bridge, so you got the roses. Move back a bit so we have everything in focus at the same time. Maybe zoom in a little. Yeah, this looks great. Do feel free to make... Oh, we lost those sky colours. Well, they're on the other side. But one really cool thing, I always forget to show this. I'm going to show you one of my other favourite photo opportunities. Nothing to do with Tower Bridge, but how cool is that? Love the rose, Peggy Schenker. You would look good with a crown on a walk, I'm sure. Yeah, just doing a Royal Westminster tour with the crown jewels. Love this view, Johanna Malone Lopez. Pretty cool. Means they can't sell them. Yeah, pretty much, yeah. So they should always remain for the people. Now, over there, you've got the Tower of All Hallows by the Tower, and the spire of All Hallows by the Tower, rather, and the spire of St Dunstan's in the east. And if you have a really good camera, come at this time, or even in 30 minutes, because you're going to get wonderful silhouettes. I can just focus a little bit for you guys to show you what the silhouette kind of looks like. But have a look at that. Two wonderfully gorgeous spires looking like they're next to each other, which is simply phenomenal. And of course, you've got the rosemary and the purple sage. It's always interesting how they've got like a lot of witchy plants around the tower. But how cool is that? It was one shot, I can't remember where it was, because you get the, if I try and move up, because you do get the monuments, but I think it might be a bit back there, because we're losing St Dunstan's. Yeah, no, we lose St Dunstan's if we continue. Is it there? No, because we lose St Dunstan's. I'll try to keep an eye out for it for you guys, because I remember looking at it and thinking I really need a good camera for this shot. Try and check it out for you over here. Ooh, mouse. Did you guys see the mouse? I got rats in Southwark. Over here we have the mouse. So let's see. Yeah, you can kind of see it over here, but I'm sure there was a better angle. But what you get is three iconic symbols in London. One is the oldest church in the city of London. The other is, so the oldest church, well, it claims to be the oldest church. That's All Hallows by the Tower. And then in the middle there, you've got the spire of St Dunstan's in the east, one of the most beautiful parts of London. And then the weird looking urn at the end over there is a monument to the Great Fire, which we saw earlier. And you get that wonderful silhouette shot, which is very cool. But we're going to continue under here to head to Tower Bridge. So we'll be crossing over Tower Bridge in a few moments, guys. Jane Caroline writing, time's been changed, I think. Darlene Davies, that's an interesting church to walk around. Yeah, in the crypt is so wonderful, Darlene. All Hallows. Sometimes on private tours, depending on which tour it is, of course, and the timing of the tour. So remember, we are a tour guiding company and we do private tours as well. So you can check out our private tours, and sometimes on the private tours, depending on the timings, sometimes we get like a half-day private tour of the area, full-day private tour. When it's a half day, which is about 4 hours, do take sometimes people into the crypt over there. Here we got St Cat's Docks, St Catherine's Docks. Michael Philomena, hi to Miss Lining Tan Liverpool. If you meet her, you'll marry her. Lots of Londoners having a good time on a Thursday night. Debbie, thank you for the stars. You're a legend. Yeah, so I think in time-wise, you have different on different occasions. It may be that you may attend something on a day that something special is happening, so they have a different time, or due to other pressing issues, they may have different times. They do that often with a lot of events. So depending on when you're visiting and what time you're visiting, they can switch up the times on occasion, of course. So there we got some of the city buildings. The crescent moon is coming into view, and we're going to be walking over Tower Bridge, guys. Similar to the marina in Brighton. I don't think I've seen the marina. Just been to the seaside and the city centre in Brighton. Oh, might be going to Brighton, so we might Need to confirm, so not 100%, but might have a private tour in Brighton. So it'll just be a 2-hour private tour. And if it is a private tour, we might do lives there. No confirmation yet. So take it with a fistful of salt. As they say, great reflections here, by the way. I always forget, but look at the shard reflected over there. And then as we continue this way, you get bits of the tower, the walkie-talkie sky garden, and the city buildings peeking through there. I love reflections. And here you get the arches themselves reflected. This is the World Trade Center, by the way. Or is it the former World Trade Center? We'll see. International House. Yeah, it is the World Trade Center, London. As you can see. Right. And there we are, slowly approaching Tower Bridge, guys. The old stomping ground. Yeah, you stayed just up on the left, Debbie Vaughan. 2 hours by train. Going to Brighton. Yeah, it depends. Like, you can get faster trains sometimes. Oh, the wonderful City Thames link. But just depends on when you go. Oh, your old stomping ground, Brighton. Sorry, he's over here. But might be, might not be. Who knows? Forgot the old train tunnel here. Oh yeah. No, yeah, because you do get some fast and slow trains. Sometimes. Here we are, Tower Bridge. And its magnificent dragons. I love the dragons. Walk there so often, Tower Hill Tube Station. Sorry, no, yeah, you were in Birmingham. Sorry, Debbie. As I mentioned one time, a while ago, I often get my B cities confused. I honestly can't remember which B cities I've been to, except for Bath, Brighton and Birmingham. I've been to a few others, but it took me a while to remember those three, because whenever a city starts with a B, and some other letters as well, I get so confused. But I can't remember if I went to Chester or the other kind of thing. I remember we did lives there, but I keep getting it confused. Because Beatrice and I have been trying to plan holidays, but I can't remember for the life of me if it was Chester or another place with the name Chester in it. Here we are, Tower Bridge, guys. Lots of people taking photos. Of course, you've got a very different experience over here. The Tower Bridge experience, which is not a horror house, though you do get one rather terrifying story of one time the bridge was opening and a bus driver missed. The signal wasn't working for some reason, so had to speed up and jump over the gap. And of course it's said that the River Thames is the deepest in London, of course, beneath Tower Bridge. Look at that lovely sky. I was hoping it will be more vibrant, but still very beautiful. In the distance there. Danielle Allaire. You love my accent? I lived in a few different places. I lived in Southern Africa and Ireland. So a few different places in Southern Africa and Ireland, but I've lived in London longer than anywhere else. So I've got this weird accent that's mixed up. There's not one place really. Interesting weird accent. I like it. Some people don't like it, but what are you going to do? There's 7 billion plus of us on the planet. Debbie Vaughan, thank you so much for the stars. You're a legend. Perfect for a picture. Yeah, it's really nice lighting this evening for pictures. But there's Tower Bridge, arguably the most famous bridge in the world. Would you agree? Or would you say San Francisco Bridge, Golden Gate Bridge? Are they the same bridge, San Francisco and Golden Gate? Or they do two different bridges? I don't know much about America. But that bridge that's in all the American movies Some would argue that is the most famous bridge. I would argue otherwise. Tower Bridge is the most famous bridge. Not my favourite bridge though, but it is the most famous. But look at that skyline, guys. Joanne East, yes. Debbie, your accent is hybrid as well. The rain, yes. You love the English accent, Michael, Miss Hyle. Thank you so much. Starshine. You love my accent as well. Thank you so much, Starshine. Amazing. Kathleen Elizabeth Cooper. You can understand me. You have a lovely voice and it's very clear. I used to do poetry readings. Might do some again. I was hoping to do one this year as a live stream, but the logistics are quite tough. But I used to do poetry readings and like write poetry and things. And short stories. What a nice tour. Johanna Malone Lopez. So there we got the monuments and the dome of St Paul's Cathedral. Yvonne Knight, you're missing London so much right now. There you got Cannon Street Station. You got the top of the BT Tower. Around Tottenham Court Road, Warren Street ways. And there you've got that other ship over there, the other naval ship. Astride the HMS Belfast. You can see a bit of the pregnant building. Darlene Davies, you're welcome. We're still going to walk down to the other side of the river so we can look at Tower Bridge from the other side. Except for the bridge in your city, the first bridge you learned about was Tower Bridge. Cool, what's the bridge in your city? Deborah Hatton. Ooh, the Shard is looking particularly spectacular tonight. Eye of Sauron. Hello, Bob Mitchell from Atlanta, GA. Rio de Janeiro, you love it. It is wonderful. We've got the east over there, east and southeast. So cool how the river bends. I'm so amazed by it because I was doing a private Greenwich tour, as I mentioned earlier, when I walked all the way on this side from Greenwich to London Bridge. I'm going to try that walk on the other side. So I'll be doing some lives of that parts of that walk from Greenwich to London Bridge on the south side, and we'll do parts of the walk on this side depending on the signal, of course. They're so amazing, the things that the river does, because it folds the city on itself. The mighty River Thames just simply folds the city on itself. He lived in Warren Street in the 80s. Cool, wonderful place. You remember the James Bond movie, Michael Philomena? Cool. Jake Scher, hello. How's it going? It's called the Ambassador Bridge. It connects the US and Canada. There was talk of might have been that fellow we don't talk about anymore, but apparently the fella, one of the fellows, there's so many people we're not supposed to talk about anymore these days, but one of the people who we're not supposed to talk about wanted a land bridge connecting Ireland and Britain. And then I think there was a period where this person, who we are not allowed to talk about anymore, also had the wonderful idea of having a land bridge between Britain and Europe. Interesting. Is it a very functional bridge? The Ambassador Bridge, Deborah Hatton. The river is the heart of London, Yvonne Knight, yeah. Yes, it's Guardian's Day, but we were supposed to do something, but we couldn't do it earlier for copyright and other issues. So we'll be doing Guardian's Day tomorrow. Two strange creatures. Is there a poetry reading? Will be wonderful. Yeah, I might do. Like, because I was hoping the idea, because I don't know if I'll be able to do it anymore. But I was trying to organise, but my mate has left. He used to live in Kent, but he had to move out, so he's further outside London now. But I was hoping to do a poetry reading with some of my poetry, but other London poets as well, at the old Crossbones graveyard. So I was hoping to sort of rent the place out, and then organise this poetry reading. But the logistics of just getting all the, as an artist, working with artists is a very, I'll say it's very interesting. Because I'm an artist to a certain degree as well. So if you've ever worked with artists, you know, is an interesting experience, to say the least. But yeah, the logistics were quite tight. And then, of course, the Crossbones Graveyard is run by volunteers.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm homeless, right?
Oh, sorry.
Feeding, right? So I'm asking people nicely. I'm sitting at the cash machine. I'm trying to raise 18.
Sorry, fella. Good luck. But yeah, also the Crossbones Graveyard was yeah, it's run by volunteers, so it can be quite hard to get in touch with them, because they've got all like their other jobs and their lives and everything. But hopefully I'll be able to organise something sometime. I think that would be the perfect setting though, for a poetry reading, especially because it was saved by some poets, which is quite cool. The old Crossbones Graveyard. Artists are free spirits, yeah. If so, what time? So we're a tour guiding company, Kevin, so please, we are doing this to promote our tours, of course. And we do have several tours. So yeah. Anyway, Joanne East. I will be live tomorrow. Should be a surprise. I'm going somewhere I've never been. I've always wanted to go to this place. So I should be going there tomorrow. And yeah, I will be live tomorrow. It's not good form to recommend other sites. We do walking tours as well. Of course. If so, what time? Joanne East. I'm not sure what time I'll be live tomorrow. Depends on whether I go to this place or not. But I'm planning, once again the key word is planning, to be live in the morning. But I'm sort of torn between doing the live I mentioned earlier on the clock app, walking from Canada Water, because the weather, that live needs really good weather. And the weather's supposed to be spiffing tomorrow, it's supposed to be wonderful. But also this place I want to go, it needs great weather. So I'm a bit torn, because I can't go on Saturday or Sunday. Actually, I might be able to do the walk on Saturday before the witches tour. Anyway, it just depends on how the morning greets us tomorrow. Here we are, Tower Bridge. Yeah, the lighting is simply gorgeous today. Rotherhithe Foot Tunnel, yeah, you got the Rotherhithe Foot Tunnel around there. Oh, look at this lighting, guys. I mean, how beautiful is this? Should have gone to the other side there, because that would look gorgeous in Wapping. If you went down there, the Tower Bridge would look so gorgeous with this lighting. Do feel free to make a screenshot if you'd like to of the Tower Bridge. We're going to walk a bit further down. I'm looking for a particular sign. You're up early, Diane Blackburn. There's also the Greenwich Foot Tunnel yet. Veli Ahmed, yes, bar. It's the busiest bridge in North America. At least 8,000 to 10,000 trucks cross the bridge daily. 1/3 of Canada. Oh wow, so that's a pretty busy bridge, of course. Deborah. Stefania. If you remember well, oh yes, you got the Greenwich Foot Tunnel. Debbie, thank you for mentioning that, because I missed those comments. And the Rotherhithe Foot Tunnel. So yeah, you've got those two tunnels going under the Thames. Veli Ahmed or Ahmed, you're welcome. It's surprising. You're surprised. It surprised you how dark this side of the river walk gets in the evening. Not many lights. It's quite interesting. It's a bit lighter these days, I feel. But there are parts of it, if you keep going east, that get quite darker. I'm not sure if they've been cleaned. Let's see. No, I don't think they've cleaned them recently. I think it's just the lighting. So they haven't, they don't paint them, but they clean them. I don't recall them ever closing it to clean it. They did do some stuff for the Jubilee, but I don't reckon they did a proper clean-up job on the Tower Bridge rather. Sarah Deal Fisher, thank you for the stars, you're a legend. Hello Sarah, you joined us at the end. But we'll be live tomorrow as well, guys. Well, that's the plan, of course. Have a great evening, Marius Christian. Look at this gorgeous lighting there. This is like the time to take a boat ride, cruise. Unfortunately, usually it's like, well, you can go outside, I suppose, on the Uber boats. I like going to the top deck because the temperature's perfect. It'll be a bit chilly though on the top deck, but it's perfect as we're walking. Of course, if you wrap up nice and warm, go to the front of the top deck, coming Greenwich down, Westminster up, or whichever way it goes. That'll be so wonderful. Pregnant Building, Bob Mitchell, that's the number 1 Blackfriars, that's the official name. So if you look on Google Maps or whichever map service you use, type in number 1 Blackfriars, and you can see the pictures of that building. We call that building the Pregnant Building. Can't see it from here though now. It's a lot further up. Sarah, take care. So I'm just looking for one signposting to show you guys something, because I saw it on the other side earlier, but we're not going that far down. How beautiful is that lighting? You remember the Navy ship? Yeah, got the HMS Belfast there. So they haven't put the dates up yet, but they've put the signpost up yet now. And check it out. So remember guys, I'm always telling you, moon gazing is wonderful. There is a time of year, I suppose you could do it now if you've got like really good knees. No, you can't really do it from this. You can do it from somewhere. But there's a time of year where you can get the moon in between the jagged bits of the shard. So if you love your moon gazing, do remember that. Hello Veli Ahmed from Edmonton. Cool. So as I mentioned guys, they haven't given us the dates yet, but they're probably online. But Summer by the River is coming. London Bridge City, weird little areas, got 2 names. London Bridge City or more London Riverside. Anyway, London Bridge City, Summer by the River is coming guys. More information if you're going to be in London this summer and you want free concerts, free performances, free movies, sometimes salsa dancing, sometimes tango dancing, all sorts of things. Be sure there's the stage to look up. London Bridge Cities, Summer by the Riverside. That is the stage over there. Should be wonderful. It is getting ready for Summer by the River, Debbie, as you mentioned. You can catch up, of course, if you have the time, Sarah. But yeah, that's what I wanted to show you guys. Hope you've enjoyed this live. I've been Vincent from Wonders of London. By the way, tomorrow will be live for Guardians. I forgot to mention that. But we'll be live on the Clock app as well, so you can check that out. But thank you all so much. Johanna, that's the scoop over there. Didn't mean to catch that, but that's the scoop. So it's a sort of a performance spot. But yeah, thank you all so much for joining us. Hello Annika Lissikak from Switzerland. You're joining us from Croatia though today. But I've been Vincent guys, hope you've enjoyed this live. And thank you to our top fans and followers. Thanks to everyone who commented, and thank you to all our Guardians. We're supposed to be Guardians Day today, but we'll be doing it tomorrow guys. But of course Guardians, if you didn't see it, we did a little snippet of what we had planned to do today. It's quite amazing, but unfortunately couldn't do it due to the venue restrictions. But we'll be live elsewhere tomorrow. But yeah, thank you so much, Guardians, for your wonderful support. And of course, thank you to everyone who sends stars. Star senders, you are legends. We would not be able to do this without you. So thank you very much, star senders. You are wonderful. And of course, thank you to everyone who liked the live and shared the live. And remember, do check out our videos, guys, and share them if you enjoy them. That's another way to help support us at Wonders of London. I've been Vincent. Do have a lovely rest of your morning, afternoon, evening, etc. wherever you are. Bye.
Big one? But for the American, it's enough. It's enough for those convicts. Go with it. Take this and maybe there's another opportunity.